Conching. The journey of a glass and a half begins here, in the rich soils of West Africa. Before we select only the finest heritage seeds. Hand-planted in our nurseries, they are nurtured with care. Protected from the harsh sun, the seedling grows. It takes months of watering and monitoring before it is ready for the field.
When strong enough, the tree is transplanted to the forest floor, growing in the shade of taller mother trees.
Years later, the tree reaches maturity. Unlike other fruit, cocoa flowers blossom directly on the trunk. Nature does the heavy lifting. Tiny midges pollinate the flowers, triggering the creation of the fruit.
The flower fades, and a green pod takes its place. Through the rainy season, it swells and grows.
Under the tropical sun, the pods ripen to a rich golden orange. They are now full of sweet pulp and seeds.
Harvest requires precision. We cut cleanly to protect the flower cushion, ensuring the tree will bear fruit again next year.
At the breaking point, the hard outer shells are cracked open to reveal the treasure inside. The beans are wrapped in a sweet, white pulp. At this stage, they are tangy and fruity, waiting to be transformed.
We pile the wet beans onto banana leaves. This heap is where the magic of flavor creation begins.
Sealed under leaves, the beans are left to ferment. Nature takes over, generating heat and changing the chemistry. Inside, temperatures rise, the pulp melts away, and the bitter bean transforms, developing the precursors of chocolate flavor.
Fermentation stops. We spread the beans under the hot sun. They must dry slowly to lock in that rich aroma.
Once dried to perfection, the beans are packed into breathable jute sacks, ready for travel.
Every sack is tagged. We trace our cocoa from this specific village all the way to the factory, ensuring ethical sourcing.
From the village to the port, the beans cross the ocean, destined for the home of Cadbury. Arrival. The truck enter the sanctuary of the factory. Here, science meets art.
First, purification. Vibrating sieves shake the beans, removing any dust or twigs that traveled with them from the farm.
Safety is paramount. High-powered magnets remove any trace metals, ensuring only pure organic material remains.
Using gravity and air, we separate the heavy stones from the lighter beans. Physics ensures absolute purity.
Infrared heat blasts the beans. This micronizing puffs the shell, loosening it from the precious nib inside.
We roast the nibs, not the whole bean. This allows for a more even, consistent flavor profile. Tumbling in the heat, the Maillard reaction occurs. The flavor deepens, and the aroma of chocolate is born.
We stop the roasting instantly with cold air. Precision timing prevents the nibs from burning.
The roasted nibs enter the mill. Here, solid turns to liquid. Friction and pressure release the cocoa butter. The dry nib transforms into a rich, flowing liquid. This is cocoa liquor, the pure essence of the bean. Unsweetened, intense, and liquid. Held in heated tanks, the liquor awaits its partners, milk and sugar.
Meanwhile, fresh milk arrives daily. It is the soul of dairy milk. We test every batch for creaminess and purity. Only the best milk makes the cut.
The fresh milk enters the evaporator. We don't use powder, we use the real thing.
We gently evaporate the water, concentrating the milk into a rich, creamy essence. Pure sugar joins the process, ready to add the sweetness we crave. Sugar meets the concentrated milk. They are blended into a thick, sweet syrup. Here is the moment of magic. The dark, bitter cocoa liquor meets the sweet, concentrated milk. They are folded together, not just mixed,
but married into a rich, liquid chocolate cream. The mixture enters the vacuum oven. This is where the chemistry of the glass and a half truly happens.
We cook under vacuum. This lowers the boiling point, allowing us to cook the mixture without burning the delicate milk proteins.
The Maillard reaction begins. The milk sugars caramelize with the cocoa, creating that distinct, savory sweet Cadbury flavor. The result is a thick, caramel-rich chocolate paste. It is heavy, dense, and full of flavor.
We dry the paste further. Moisture is the enemy of chocolate preservation, so we drive it out.
The paste becomes solid. This is Cadbury crumb. It captures the fresh milk flavor in a stable, solid form. This crumb is the heart of our recipe. It can be stored and aged, allowing the flavors to mature and deepen over time.
And ready, the crumb begins its journey to become a smooth bar. First, it must be broken down. The solid crumb enters the hammer mill. Impact and speed shatter the granules. In a split second, the rock-hard crumb is reduced to a fine, chocolatey powder. The powder is ready, but it is dry. To make it flow, we need to add fat back in. We add pure cocoa butter. This is the natural fat of the bean, giving the chocolate its melt. A tiny amount of lecithin is added. This helps the ingredients bind together smoothly. The powder becomes a heavy paste. It tastes like chocolate, but it feels like sand. It needs refining. The paste travels to the refiner. A stack of heavy steel rollers awaits.
The paste is pulled between the rollers. The pressure is immense. It travels up the stack. Each roller spins faster than the last, shearing the chocolate thinner and thinner.
The particles are crushed to less than the width of a human hair. This ensures the chocolate feels smooth on your tongue, not gritty.
The refined chocolate is scraped off the rollers. It emerges not as a liquid, but as a fine, dry flake. These flakes are smooth in texture but dry to the touch. They head to the most critical machine in the factory, the conche.
This is the conche. Named after the shell shape of early versions, it is the vessel where flavor is refined. The dry flakes are loaded in. Tons of chocolate powder fill the vessel. The paddles begin to turn. At first, it is a dry, heavy knead. The machine works hard.
This is shearing. We smear the chocolate back and forth, coating every microscopic sugar particle with cocoa butter.
Friction generates heat. The cocoa butter trapped in the flakes begins to melt again. The powder turns into a heavy paste.
We check the viscosity. It's smooth, but still a little too thick for molding.
We introduce air. The constant movement drives off volatile acids and moisture, mellowing the flavor from sharp to smooth.
A final adjustment. We add extra cocoa butter and lecithin to relax the chocolate, making it flow like silk.
After hours of conching, the transformation is complete. We have liquid velvet.
The conche is emptied. The finished chocolate is pumped to storage.
It rests in heated tanks. But we can't mold it yet. If we cooled it now, it would be dull and crumbly.
To get that famous Cadbury snap, the chocolate must go through a process called tempering. The tempering machine. It is a master of temperature control. First, we cool the chocolate down rapidly. This forces crystals to form in the cocoa butter.
Scrapers keep the chocolate moving, ensuring the crystals are evenly distributed.
A sample check confirms the temper. It sets quickly with a perfect satin gloss. The chocolate is now tempered and stable. It flows to the depositor. ready to take its final shape. Hygiene is obsessive. High-pressure air and brushes ensure every mold is microscopically clean before filling. The molds begin their journey. Made of durable polycarbonate, they are the negative image of the famous dairy milk shape.
We heat the molds slightly. If hot chocolate hit a cold mold, it would shock the cocoa butter, ruining the shine.
The molds arrive at the depositor. Synchronization here must be perfect.
This shakes out any trapped air bubbles and forces the chocolate into every engraving of the Cadbury logo. The molds enter the cooling tunnel. This is a long, multi-zone refrigerator. They emerge back into the light. Solid, snapped, and ready. The line inverts. The molds are flipped upside down, preparing to release their cargo. Pneumatic hammers give a precise tap to the back of the mold. Gravity does the rest. The bars drop onto the belt, displaying that perfect mirror finish. Safety is non-negotiable. Every single bar passes through sophisticated metal detection before it can be wrapped.
They align for the final stage. The bars, bearing the signature Cadbury mold, head for their famous purple coats.
Optical scanners check every millimeter. Any bar with a crack or a bubble is instantly rejected.
Thousands of meters of the iconic purple film unspool at lightning speed.
The result, the finished dairy milk bar. Sealed, perfect, and ready for the world. Robotic arms, tireless and precise, pack the bars into display cartons. The display boxes are sealed, ready for the supermarket shelf. Every case is labeled for global distribution logistics.
Heavy lift robots build the pallets, stacking case after case with perfect stability.
The finished pallets are moved to our temperature-controlled warehouse, awaiting orders.
The journey continues. Loaded onto refrigerated trucks, the chocolate leaves its birthplace.
From the cocoa fields of Ghana to the factory floor, and now onto the open road.
It travels thousands of miles to reach your local store, waiting for this moment.